going on, friends? When it comes to crate motors for your Harley-Davidson, you just may be wondering if it's cheaper to just buy a completely built, ready-to-go crate engine, or if you should just go ahead and rebuild your current engine. Now, there's a lot of pros and cons to just buying a new engine versus rebuilding your current engine. It really all comes down to how far you want to go, how much do you want to spend, and what exactly do you need, and what kind of performance level are you really looking for. The decision to go with a crate motor is really based on a lot of factors. Mileage definitely can be one of them on your current engine. Now, if you got a lot of miles on your current engine and you're really wanting to go all out, there's really only one way to do that right, and that's to completely disassemble the engine and build it basically from the crank back up. Now, when you're taking an engine down to the crank and you're putting a new crankshaft in it, new bearings, you're going all out on this engine, that is very labor intensive and time consuming. And if you're paying for labor, this can honestly almost be just as much as going out and buying a good high quality off-the-shelf crate engine. Now, for example, I'd like to use the Screamin Eagle Stage 4, the 131 kit. Yes, you could go out and also buy a complete 131-inch crate motor. That's why I say this is a perfect example to use on where actually getting into the motor versus buying a whole new engine, it can actually be more cost effective to really buy a whole entire engine. Now, the Screamin Eagle bolt-on 131 kit sells for about $38.50. Now, let's take that cost and let's just do a ballpark dealer labor of about $3,000. Of course, that's going to vary with the dealer and the market that you're in, but we're already up to about $68.50 here. That's getting pretty close to what the cost of just the entire crate engine itself runs. And at $68.50, we haven't even figured in the taxes, let alone if we're going to find anything inside your current engine that's going to need some addressing. With that price tag of almost $7,000 to get your current engine upgraded to a 131, let's kind of take a look and see what it would cost to actually just swap the entire engine. But before we get into that today, guys, please don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now, we're at about $7,000 with taxes added, give or take, on this engine upgrade. Now, you've probably had this engine for a little while, you've got some miles on it, you're already in there. It's an opportune time to go ahead and upgrade the oil pump and the cam plate. So while you're in there getting that done, that's an additional cost of about another $800 in parts. So now we're looking at about $7,800 total when you can actually go buy the complete crate engine for $7,300. $7,300, this is for a brand new, fresh engine. The crankshaft, everything in that engine is brand new, 0 miles. And we're looking at $7,300 for that. Is that expensive? Yeah, it sounds pretty expensive up front, but when you figure in the time, the labor, and all the other associated costs with getting your current engine upgraded, it's really not that bad. Well, $7,300 is still expensive. Not to mention, it is convenient with this new engine. This new engine is going to take less time to swap out versus taking your old engine, tearing everything apart, getting everything put back together, reassembled, and dialed in. This is just going to be a quick motor swap. Well, I say quick, it's still time consuming, but not nearly as time consuming as completely upgrading an entire engine. Not to mention, just doing a straight swap across on an engine, that takes a lot less time and labor to do, which in turn reduces your labor costs. Well, theoretically. It is a Harley dealer, so they might still charge you the same. Now, that's just one example using a Milwaukee 8, but what if you've got a twin cam engine that's got a lot of miles on it, the thing's pretty much past its prime, it's basically burning just as much oil as it is gasoline, so it's probably time to think about getting that engine rebuilt, but where do you want to start and how far do you want to take it on a complete rebuild? Sure, you can throw a high performance top end in it, a new cam, go through, just do the basic half-two deals in there, but at the end of the day, you're still running on that high mileage crankshaft down there. It does take a lot of time to get those engines pulled out, get the cases split, replace the crankshaft in those, go through all the bearings, and not to mention, if you're getting your crankshaft replaced or rebuilt, that does add a significant cost to any engine rebuild. Now, this gives you something else to think about because you truly do not know what is in the engine until you start taking it apart, you start inspecting everything. That's when you get a really good picture of what you've got in there. There's a lot of unknowns until you get in there and look at it. And a lot of these unknowns, these could really add up to some high costs on the back end. Now, even with a high mileage engine, if it hasn't suffered some kind of absolute catastrophic failure where you had a bunch of pieces come apart, run through the engine and damage the cases, chances are it's a likely candidate for a rebuild. Now, if you're going to rebuild your engine and you're going to put a lot of new high performance parts in it and go all back together, that leaves another question. Is the warranty? Who's going to be responsible for what if something were to fail, whether it be an individual component or a complete engine failure? Who's to say who's at fault, whose part was at fault? Now, of course, if you're building your own engine, that's between you and the parts manufacturers whose products you choose to put in the engine. Now, if you're taking your bike to an indie shop or a dealer and they're going through with a bunch of aftermarket high-performance parts to do the rebuild, that leaves another question. Who's responsible for that? Is it the part's fault? Was it the guy that put it together's fault? Now, if you get whose fault it was sorted out, then it comes down to basically deciding on who's going to do the footwork. Is the shop or the dealership you went to have this work done? Are they going to sort it out with the different manufacturers? And is that different manufacturer going to say, no, it wasn't my part, it was this other part, or maybe it was something you did? So there's a lot of variables there to think about when rebuilding your own engine. This is where the crate motors have an excellent benefit. Yes, they do have a high price tag, but you do have a little bit more security there between the manufacturer and their authorized dealer that you purchased the engine from, and even if that dealer went ahead and installed the engine for you. Building or buying a brand new engine, this is a huge investment, and the last thing you really want to happen is to have a brand new motor, have something go catastrophically wrong, and you end up with a $7,000 or $8,000 boat anchor. Does it happen often? Not really, but does it happen? It certainly does. Now, that is definitely one of the biggest benefits of the crate engine, is having that security with the warranty. S&S probably has the best warranty out there on their aftermarket engines. S&S also has basically the most complete line of engines out there, whether you're after an Evo style engine or even a twin cam. Now, I know the S&S engines are extremely expensive, but you get the best of the best S&S components put into these engines. And there's all different power levels, all different price ranges. And not only that, S&S backs it all up by a 2-year warranty. It completely takes all the worry and all the guesswork out of trying to build your own engine. Now, of course, there is the other manufacturer out there that seems to come up every now and again, which is Ultima Engines. Now, contrary to popular belief, Ultima Engines are not built overseas. They're actually built in Missouri. They have their factory there. That's where their shop's at. They manufacture their own parts. They do their own machining. They have a lot of proprietary parts that are honestly pretty good. Now, the thing with the Ultima engine is they are a little bit more on the, let's say, the cost-effective side. So they're probably really good if you have an older motorcycle like an Evo, or you have an early model twin cam from 99 to 06. Those are great motorcycles that are excellent candidates for an Ultima engine. Now, Ultima does not sell directly to the consumer. Ultima goes through dealers, so you'll have to go out and find you an indie shop that'll actually order an Ultima engine and install it for you. And honestly, the prices on Ultima engines, they're really not bad. They have a good power output, and if you keep it sane down on about the streetable level, they're actually pretty reliable. In fact, Ultima does offer a 2-year warranty on some of their lower powered engines. I say lower powered, they really don't have anything that's under 100 horsepower, so that's a good benefit to you. But a 2-year warranty just like S&S. The only difference is with an S&S engine, depending on what you're getting, whether it's an Evo or a twin cam or how much power you're looking at, you can literally spend anywhere from $6,500 to almost like $10,000 for their T143 engine. Now, where I say Ultima's a lot more cost effective, you can get a nice Ultima engine for about $4,500, and they can go all the way up to almost $7,000. Now, when you consider about $4,500 to $5,000, that's right about the cost of a complete rebuild on your existing engine. So guys, if you're looking to do a performance engine and you're really looking to go all out on it, I'm not talking just putting a cam in it, maybe a little big bore kit, but when you really want to get down into the crank, it really starts to beg the question of, should I be looking at a crate motor? Am I going to spend more on this engine, have basically a culmination of aftermarket parts in there, and then who's responsible for the warranty on it? Because a lot of these parts, they all come with a warranty. Whereas you could just go out and buy the crate engine, and it's a one-stop shop. You have less downtime. It's ready to go back together. It's a lot less labor intensive. And if you have an issue, there's one company you have to deal with instead of multiple. But yeah, guys, that's all I've got for you this week. If you guys enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. But until next week, guys, you stay safe on the streets, ride smart, dodge those cars, and I'll catch you guys back here next week with a brand new video. Thanks for watching.